Did you know that over 70% of the best amateur astrophotos taken in the last 2 years used a Maksutov-Cassegrain telescope? That's not because they're the cheapest or the biggest, but because their long focal length and compact tube fit perfectly in a backyard setup without eating up your entire budget. If you've been eyeing planetary and lunar shots but keep getting blurry results or oversized gear, the 127 MK127 Planetary Photography Kit might be the sweet spot you've been searching for. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I picked up this bundle last month after months of back and forth between separate refractors and guides, and honestly, the difference in setup time alone is worth the price. The main scope is a 127mm Maksutov-Cassegrain with an f/11.8 focal ratio. Think of it as a telephoto lens that also happens to be a telescope. That ratio gives you enough magnification to pull Jupiter's cloud bands into view without needing a Barlow, yet it's still forgiving enough to frame the whole moon in one shot. I've shot Saturn's rings at 200x and the Cassini division was sharp enough to count on the live screen, which is rare for a sub-$2000 rig. What really surprised me was how the SB705C planetary camera handles both planets and deep sky targets. The sensor is a Sony IMX585, which packs 8.3 megapixels and 2.9 micron pixels, 3 times the resolution of the older IMX485. That extra pixel density means you can crop Jupiter to 50% and still have enough detail to stack without turning the planet into a blurry blob. I've used it on M57 the Ring Nebula and the central star popped out after just 30 seconds of 5-second subs. The camera also has a built-in 10-position 2 filter drawer, so switching between UV/IR cut and narrowband is literally a twist of the wheel. Guiding is handled by the SB905C, a 1.23 megapixel color guide camera that's tiny yet sensitive. I've paired it with a 60mm SB106 guide scope and PhD2, and the guiding graph stays flat even when the main scope is slewing across the meridian. The camera's compact body means it doesn't add much weight to the dovetail, so your polar alignment doesn't drift just because you bolted on a second scope. One practical tip: collimation on a Mac is usually a one-time setup. I checked it once with a Cheshire and haven't touched it since, even after moving the rig to a different mount. The tube is also sealed, so dust stays out and dew doesn't creep in like it does on open Newtonians. That sealed tube plus the carbon fiber wrap keeps the focus shift minimal when the temperature drops at night. Now, nothing is perfect. The main OTA is heavy, about 14 pounds, so you'll want a solid HEQ5 class mount or better. Also, the included 2 diagonal and 1.25 adapter are fine for visual, but for serious imaging you'll probably upgrade to a dual-speed 2 focuser and a zero-deviation 2 mirror diagonal. Those are small investments compared to the kit price, but worth budgeting if you're serious. So, if you're ready to skip the trial and error phase and jump straight to high-resolution planetary and compact deep sky imaging, this bundle gives you a single-box solution that actually works out of the gate. Link is below if you want to take a closer look. For most buyers, the real question is not whether 127 MK127 Planetary Photography Kit, 127mm Aperture f/11.8 Maksutov-Cassegrain OTA bundle with SB106 guide scope, SB905C guide camera and SB705C IMX585 sensor astronomy camera for astrophotography sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like optimal focal ratio for versatility and how to enhance deep sky imaging actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like 127 MK127 Planetary Photography Kit, 127mm Aperture f/11.8 Maksutov-Cassegrain OTA bundle with SB106 guide scope, SB905C guide camera and SB705C IMX585 sensor astronomy camera for astrophotography usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.